What if I told you that President Trump is telling lawmakers to give money directly to the American people? That is exactly what happened just this morning. Look at this. It says Trump urges lawmakers to give healthcare money directly to the people. This is not the first time that the president has come out and publicly stated that he believes we should give the American people the money. Stop spending it on things like health insurance. Stop giving it to states to build a new bridge or a new library. Stop doing things like that. Give the money just directly to the American people and let them spend it as they wish. Well, look at this, because again, this isn't the first time. President Trump, a month ago, Trump says tariff checks are probably coming to millions of Americans and soon. And that's not the first time we've heard that either. President Trump said that back in the summer as well. And after he said it, Senator Josh Hawley, he introduced legislation to send rebate checks to working Americans, giving Americans a $600 tariff rebate check if you're working. Okay, if you are working. Now, this is now bringing something else into question. How much is President Trump considering giving to the American people? Well, let's read this article. It says right here, President Donald Trump on Saturday floated a potential compromise amid the impasse over the U.S. government shutdown, urging Republicans to redirect federal money that currently goes to health insurance companies under the Affordable Care Act and give it to individuals. Here's what you need to know. The United States government is paying about $130 billion a year. This is for Obamacare, the Affordable Care Act. This also includes about $92 billion in subsidies per year as well. The United States government pays about $1.6 trillion for health care, but the majority of that is made up through Medicaid and Medicare. The smaller portion is the Affordable Care Act. I want to keep reading this. It says right here, I am recommending to Senate Republicans that the hundreds of billions of dollars currently being sent to money-sucking insurance companies in order to save the bad health care provided by Obamacare be sent directly to the people so that they can purchase their own much better health care and have money left over. Here's what's interesting. Even with subsidies, this is bringing the cost down for the American people. The problem is health insurance companies continue to charge more. They are charging the American people more, but it's going to the federal government. That's who's paying the bill. So essentially what the government should do is go after the health insurance companies to stop charging an arm and a leg for every little thing. Everything. They're charging so much. It's ridiculous. Goes on and says, in other words, take from the big bad insurance companies, give it to the people, and terminate per dollar spent the worst health care anywhere in the world, Obamacare. Says Trump's comments on Truth Social came just hours before the U.S. Senate was set to reconvene at noon today after rejecting legislation on Friday that would have resumed paychecks for hundreds of thousands of federal workers during the longest shutdown in U.S. history. Says lawmakers remained at odds over how to reopen the government. Democrats want a funding bill to include health care subsidies that are due to expire for 24 million Americans at year's end. But Republicans say Congress must first pass a funding bill without strings attached and allow the government to reopen before tackling other issues. Right now, we are not at an impasse and nobody knows how to get through. But here's the interesting thing. This was just put out there just a short while ago. Okay? And so again, President Trump urging lawmakers to give health care money directly to the people could be a massive amount. Okay? It says right now the federal government spends about $130 billion per year on Obamacare. About $92 billion is just paying for the subsidies alone. But, and this is where things get interesting, how much money does that mean per person? Well, here's where things are very interesting. If Trump were to only give the money to people making less than, let's say, $50,000 per year, that would come up to about 100 million people. Okay, that includes children. So you're going to pay 100 million people the $130 billion. Guess what that comes out to? $1,300 per person. So if a household, let's say in a couple, is making less than $100,000, right? Then they get potentially $2,600. Again, it could be a massive amount of money. But here's where it will get stuck. What President Trump and what Republicans would likely do is they would only provide this money if you are working. Keep in mind everything that the Trump administration has done, not just in this term, but also in his first presidency, is it was a push to get everybody into the workforce. Every single person. Even if you are already retired, come back, work, make more money. We will provide you with more benefits if you do that. That's where we're at. So right now, the Trump administration and President Trump is saying, let's take this money from healthcare, this $130+ billion. Let's divide it up. Let's give it back to the American people so they can spend it as they wish, which means they can go and buy their own healthcare. They can buy what they need. Okay, buy what they need. That's the critical part. Not every single person needs every single, bell and whistle that a doctor could potentially provide. Okay, we have to pick and choose what we want. Again, Obamacare is there. It has helped millions of people. It does bring costs down, but at the same time, is this the best health insurance that we can provide? Well, no. And it's not like we're Canada that's providing health care. No, we are paying for it. And we are paying so much. So, here's what is likely going to happen, just to give you an idea. Okay? This right here is going to, and we've seen it before. President Trump has said, let's give money to the American people. Give it to them. Let them decide. Because guess what happens? President Trump is a businessman. He knows that the American people need money in their pockets so they can go and spend it on what they see fit for them and their family. If they need to go and buy a new car, they can go and buy a new car. If they want to put it into crypto, they can do that as well. Or maybe they're going to go and buy healthcare. They're going to go buy some insurance. Okay? We don't know exactly what's going to happen, but here's what I can tell you. This now opens up the discussion, okay, this right here, to give the money to the American people. This is just another time where President Trump is calling for Congress to give money back to the American people. That's what he wants. I think it's just a matter of time before it actually happens. Because again, he's talked about giving healthcare money to the American people. He's talked about giving tariff revenue to the American people. He's talked about eliminating federal income taxes by using tariff revenue to offset it. And again, puts money back into the American people's pocket. So my guess is the Trump administration is looking at multiple ways to put more money back into your pocket. So we'll see, but I thought this was interesting that he put this out there at this time when currently the Senate is deadlocked. They're at an impasse and they don't know how to get through. This right here, maybe this isn't exactly what happens, but it's now a talking point that they can start with. So, as we get more information on this, I promise I'll bring you all the latest news and updates as soon as we get it. But as of today, that is what we know. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.